Basically, we were trying to raise awareness for different things that are happening around the world. Domestic violence is a worldwide issue that affects many people. Like in the Syrian bombing affects hundreds of thousands, kills just as many. It is something that needed to be stopped, and our school felt really strongly about it, which is why we campaigned about it.
Our campaign is about domestic violence, and we're campaigning about how to get in the school curriculum, right? And what we've done so far is basically I've emailed Mr. Owen, and I wrote to him saying that I would like to have a meeting and sort of organise a meeting on domestic violence so he can, because he's the head of NUT.
We plan to make a PowerPoint about domestic violence, and we'll use this, what we've learned and all of the facts to go on the PowerPoint, and hopefully we'll use this in our PSHE lessons.
We've tried to contact the government website, which it has the education board on it, and we contacted them saying about how we want what aspects of domestic violence there isn't included in the curriculum that we want to include in the curriculum, but the thing that we want to do immediately is add some lessons to our curriculum, just in our school.
We planned out a questionnaire so we can send it around our year group, and we've I think sent out 120 in total, and one of the questions was do you know what domestic violence is? And we've just tallied up the scores, and we got 82 people who know what domestic violence is and 25 people who don't know what it is. We are focusing this more in primary schools because we would like to educate young people so they're brought up with a good mindset.
First of all, we wanted to ask ourselves the question, is bombing Syria the solution to stop ISIS? So we decided to take it upon us to make a campaign about such a serious issue.
Throughout our campaign, we wanted to start off by making sure that the people around us are aware of what's happening. So we created a pressure group for this. We used the techniques we gave out posters so the people around the students were aware of what's going on.
We're placing our hopes on such action to convince the MPs about how important this issue is, as all of us in this group feel this is such an important issue.
We also used techniques like lobbying. We also made a video.
Before, many countries were bombing Syria, however now there's a ceasefire and countries are not bombing Syria, however want countries to help Syria as there's a lot of collateral damage there, so we want countries to help them rebuild the city.
We found out that there's been over 1,600 bombings, and there have been about 6,000 civilians being killed. A solution to stop further bombings in Syria is to put ground troops instead of bombing, because infrastructures in Syria and buildings, houses, schools, hospitals are being destroyed, which is not benefiting Syria. It's actually benefiting ISIS, as it means that territories can be easily taken over by ISIS members. So
we were looking at the impacts of what our bombs and the other bombs from other countries have had on the Syrian people and their homes. We found that 13.5 million people in Syria need humanitarian assistance.
We think that as humans we should help them to make their life quality much better than it is right now.
We found that about 50% of the refugees from Syria are children, and they've lost everything, which means they have no future.
Basically what we do now, we're doing the PowerPoint, me and Simran, and we're just finishing it off, and the other group, we're splitting two groups. They're finishing off the movie, as you can see.
We're planning to do a PSHE lessons for all the year groups, starting from year 7 to year 11. So the first task will be a starter, which will make the students know the topic that they're going to be getting educated about. Well, the second task we're going to do is a true or false game, and the students will be handed out a whiteboard, and then in the slideshow there will be questions and statistics.
We're gonna rehearse it, so we'll do step by step. So let's say we're gonna present it in another classroom and go over it and write our script and just double check it and see any improvements or whatever.
At the moment we're making a logo for our campaign, and we've got a bomb, and then we're gonna put the Syria flag in it. Then we're gonna put saying like "Don't bomb Syria," and then we're gonna put like a circle and a slash, which means like "Don't bomb."
Me and Lejeune are going around tutors to collect signatures to further our campaign in our research, as we want to find out how many people in our school want to stop the bombing of Syria.
Right now I'm doing the PowerPoint presentation for what we're going to be presenting tomorrow. I've included what our campaign is about, so I've said that how we want to add everything to the curriculum, such as misconceptions and stereotypes that people might have. And in another slide I've included the dictionary definition of domestic violence and what people think domestic violence is based on the questionnaires that we've done. And I'm writing right now about the cycle of abuse, which is really common, and it's what domestic violence really is known for, where people keep on going back to the abuser. So she's making a lesson plan including all of that, and we're going to show it halfway through our PowerPoint to show teachers an example of what would be best.
I'm currently looking through the PowerPoint to see if there's any mistakes. We're just finalising everything, for example the speech.
So right now we're writing our final speech, and in a bit we're going to do some rehearsals, do some practice, so we're ready for our final presentation.
I thought things would change. I couldn't control myself. It became an everyday thing. I turned in grief and hit my own son.
Swear to God I hate him. How could you do this to me? You just watch when I grow up.
I'm feeling really nervous and scared about the presentation. I'm like shaking a little bit for talking in front of people, but hopefully we've got the presentation right. So in the presentation we was hoping to raise awareness. We made PowerPoints so that everyone could understand what the Syrian refugee campaign was about, the domestic violence campaign. We made leaflets so everyone understood. There was even a quiz so people could interact and understand more about the campaigns.
We are aware that you may have heard different opinions from your surroundings. However, we want to tell you the truth and change that opinion.
We gave the panel an opportunity to ask us some questions so they could understand more about the campaigns if they was uncertain about anything.
I had a chance to go to Sham in Syria before the war. It's a beautiful country.
The cycle of abuse is a social cycle theory developed to explain patterns.
After the presentation we was able to make a PSHE lesson, which we're still hoping to do, so that more people can understand the campaigns.
Going to war, we went for.
Is this what you asked for?